So check it out, first snow of the season. We're in the city, there's quite a lot of snow everywhere. It snowed really heavily last night and I wanted to get a few shots. I don't really fly in the city that much, but that's where this comes in, which is my Pavo20 Pro. And you know, really small, really lightweight, really quiet as well, so we should be able to get some really good shots out here. And apologies for the audio, I'm recording on my phone at the moment, but check this out, there's so much snow everywhere. So let's get this up in the air and see what happens. I wanted to show you the full flight of the first pack and talk through my thinking on how to film this, but I'll show you the full cinematic edit at the end. This is my first time flying cinematic and also the first time flying in this part of the city. I'm not flying that far away, but I am perched behind a giant stone wall and flying over water, so I wouldn't be getting this back if it goes down. I wanted to start just getting a feel for some of the lines I could take and where my signal would start to drop. I wanted to see what this looked like from the other direction and figured I could do some sort of reveal of the giant cathedral. And then I instinctively went for a dive, but I managed to pull back from doing a split S into the water because I had to keep reminding myself that I'm here to try and fly smooth and slow. I'm doing a much lower run this time and much closer to the trees. I had a slight thought about going over to the other side of the river, but then I kind of noticed the birds were chasing me. Here I wanted to see if I could reveal the city behind the cathedral with the snow-covered roofs, as I thought it would look quite nice. I'd have liked to have gone further, but I'm not standing in the right spot to fly over the cathedral, so I thought maybe I could follow the river a little bit because of the sunrise and the lines towards the bridge. As I turned to come back, I saw a gap that I just couldn't resist going through, so I went for it. Let's go through here and see what it's like. Yeah, that looks pretty good, so I might do that again later on. I could do like a city reveal at the end of that, but I kind of do need to bring this in because that battery is dying very quickly in the cold, and I only have one other pack to try and get this shot. But whilst I come into land, let's go widescreen, let's turn up the epic music, whack on a color grade, put a few shots together and see what the final video looks like.
Okay, so I'm back in the warmth of the studio, and while snow makes everything look really amazing, this was my first time flying cinematic, and in the city as well. Looking back on the footage, I would say Cinematic FPV is a lot more involved than I thought it was gonna be. Picking some of the lines was a little bit easier because of my background in photography. The thing I struggled with most was about being patient with my movements and how I was flying. The stick movements have to be so much slower, and I'm used to kind of changing direction rapidly and then getting to the next obstacle as quickly as possible. And that doesn't look great for what I was doing here, so I had a lot of footage that was just unusable. Every time I started to run, I kept reminding myself, slow and smooth, slow and smooth. And as soon as I did part of the run, I felt like I was fighting my instinct to go fast and furious. I also noticed that while I was flying, I felt like I was holding some of these shots for a long period of time, and then watching them back afterwards, I could have held them for a lot longer. As a great example, this shot of the cathedral. It would have been great if I'd have just held on that for a few more seconds and then just kept moving at the pace that I was going. But I didn't. In my defense, it was freezing cold and my hands were also frozen. I could see my battery dropping like a stone as well. But with the excuses out of the way, I actually really enjoyed this. It was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. So as I tried to learn and improve, any tips or tricks that you guys have on Cinematic FPV, drop them in the comments. I'll appreciate any help that I can get. Even if it's some of the basic things, like I fly with one set of rates. Do I need another set of rates for cinematic flying than I do for freestyle, for instance? But given this experience, I'm considering waterproofing a few of the quads, maybe building something specific in a dead cat style, but Quad Moolah don't do one of those yet, so hint hint, maybe somebody could speak to them about this. But if you have any suggestions of a 5-inch frame that's either in a dead cat style or has props out of the view so I can do more of this stuff out in the wild, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, this was a short video for today. This wasn't planned in advance. We just had a freak snowstorm yesterday, so I wanted to take the opportunity to go out there and get some footage. But I thought you might be interested in my approach to new things and the way I think about doing something for the first time. And yeah, I don't have a problem posting something that shows how much I suck at something. I get to look back at this in a few months and realize how much I've improved. The quad I used for this video, if you want to see my review of that, I will put that up here and I'll see you guys in the next one.